Hi everyone and welcome to our specialty class today. We are continuing from yesterday. So we used this stamp set yesterday, The Greatest Adventure, and it's a great little stamp set that you can mix and match with other products. So we're going to add it with some other products today. I'll share with you the cards we did yesterday because they were really great cards we did yesterday. So bringing that training. Hi Susan. Yeah, they're really good. So today I'm going to share a little bit more on how to, hi Tanya, use this stamp set. This one I love the background. Hi Kaz. And then this one. So they were the ones we did yesterday. So I'm going to just hold this up. So I've stamped the train out in different colours. So we've done Wild Wheat, Caging Craze, Mossy Meadow and Blackberry Bliss. So you can sort of see that the trains look different in the colours that you use. So you want to think about also if you can use a different colour for stamping those trains. So today I'm going to be also bringing in the Florist die set and the Groove die. Now these are, I've just shared with you that these are like pop out dies. Okay, like this. So hi Susan, how are you? I'm doing a few more train ones today. So this one is really lovely. That die, and then the other one is this one, and I'll share this one. Okay, so let's come down to the workbench and let's see what we're going to come up with today. If I need your help, I will call out to you guys to give me your opinion. So with this, I was thinking of using the back of the designer series paper that we were using yesterday. We were using the pattern side, but today I thought we might come in with the reverse side. So with one of these, how do you actually put this together? So this is your normal 10.5 by 29 centimeters scored at 14.5. Then I actually go and do my die cutting. Okay, and then I'm going to need a piece of designer series paper, or you can do white paper and emboss it, depends on what you want to do. So that will be 14 by 10. And then you're also going to need a black one that's going to be 14.5 by 10.5. So this is going to go onto this first. So we're going to put this onto here first, because this is then going to be glued onto here. Okay. So you will see that you're going to have this glued on underneath here. So let's start with just building up this bit first. So just check out the trains here again. We've got Wild Wheat, Craze and Craze, Blackberry Bliss, or Mossy Meadow. And they would all, I'm sort of looking at the Mossy Meadow, but even the Blackberry Bliss is really lovely as well. So this is the black, so we could do black. I have cut the black one out. This is my template one that I keep pushing off and on to check out the cards. So I'm going to come in and put this blue side on down first. Now, I love this paper because it's also got like highlights in here as well. So it's sort of really lovely. It's got purples through it. So it looks like skies, like a sky as well. Hi Lillian, good to see you on. It's lovely. If you do come on and it's your first time, say hello and say where you're from. For those of you who don't know who I am, I'm Teresa Brown. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and have been for 18 years. So love to share. So you can sort of see that these would go just great on here as a card. But let's take it that little step further and put this onto here. And when I'm doing this, I like to make sure that I'm just gluing around the edge, virtually around on that black edge. So I'm gluing around this edge here to stick this on. So that's why I always cut my black or my designer series paper just a little bit smaller. So you've got yourself a little bit of a guide on where to put this glue, because you don't want it through the openings of this. But you might want to add a little bit to some of the leaves. Okay, so we've got that on there, and you might just want to add a little bit onto some of these leaves. So just a little bit. Not too much, but just a little bit so that they sit down. And yeah, so that's all I'm going to do, just those little few there. So I'm going to bring this now to line it up to my card, the bottom of my card, to that score line, and then I'm going to flip this over and pop that on. Now the good thing about it is if you bring in something like this and you haven't got it all glued all the way around, you can still poke things in and out. So I sort of want to poke this in and coming out around that. I want that to sort of be the focus. So do we think we want a different colour train, or do you think the black will go well? I'm going to come up so I can see your comments. Interaction time. Do you think the black train, or do you think we should add a colour train into this? Just put it in the comments whether you what colour you think. Susan, the black one, which I've got here in there at the moment. Anyone else feel like they like to share their opinion? Don't be scared. Blackberry Bliss. That could look really quite nice in there, Susan. Black. Okay, we've got two blacks, so we'll go with the black. I'll have to cut another template out, won't I? That's okay. So we'll go with the black. The black's really a good one. Now, if you want that darker black, you'll probably need to, you know, if you've got the Stamparatas or something like that, you might want to come down and do it a few times to get it really black. But I don't mind this one. So I'm going to get my dimensions here, and I'm going to put dimensions on. I don't want it on this back bit because that's going to slide in underneath, but I do want it from about there. Okay, so we're going to come in from about there because we want this to raise up over the the leaves, over the leaves here on this arch. I'm just going to put one more there because I want this bit to stand up but this bit to sink down. Okay, so that's the good thing about it. You can raise up whichever end you want, or you can raise up both ends, but this one I want to tuck underneath. Okay. Must find my little dimension rubbish bin. Okay, so I'm going to slide that in underneath, and then I'm going to come down with that over the top of that, and you can sort of see it raises it up. Okay, now the inside, you can put a big mat on the inside or you can put a smaller one. We're just going to go with the smaller one. You can go with whatever size you have. I've got a few cut out here, so, but I don't mind this in here. Okay, now if we're going to come with a word in the die setting, which one is it? One of these. I think it's the Delightful Forest, which is what I'm using now. Yeah, the Delightful Forest has got the has got a couple of banners which I really love, and this one fits around some long words. So I cut out a whole heap of banners, and then it's got a fatter one as well. So they're really, really great if you want to bring in the banner with the word. Now the other thing that I also like to mix and match is this one doesn't have a lot of words on it. So you might want to come in and find one that's got more words on it. Okay, so the Unbounded Love is a really good one, but so is So Sincere. This one's really lovely because it's got this happy birthday that goes down, so you can always put that down the side of the card as well, which is really lovely. So we're going to come in with this happy birthday for this one. And these banners are going to be a little bit small for that one. So I'm not going to try to fit it onto that because it's going to be too small. So we're going to come in and do it in the black. You can see I use this one a lot. Probably one of my favourite happy birthdays. One of my go-to birthday ones. It's just got a nice font on it. Okay, let's put this up the right way. Okay, so line up your happy on your either your glass mat or your grid. Okay, so line that up. And because it does sort of go on a bit of an angle, you sort of got to just check it and see. So we're going to use a bit of scrap black. Scrap black. I've got lots of scrap black. Scrap white, I mean. I'm going to use a bit of white with black ink because we're going to cut around it. Just make sure I've got nothing in this corner over here. And you can do it as a banner, you can do it as on any of your die cuts that you have that's got a lovely shape, you know, your stylish shapes and all those, you can use any of them. But what if you don't have anything? How do you do it then? You can just stamp it out and do some fussy cutting. Fussy cutting is not too hard. All you need is a pair of scissors and a little bit of patience, I've been told from lots of people. But it's not that bad, really. So just cut around it and just cut that off. So cut around your word to suit yourself how you want to do this, okay? But the one thing you're going to look at next is this white going to stand out like a dog's leg? You know how if you put something on, sometimes it just doesn't look right because it's too bright or doesn't quite blend in with what you're doing. Okay, so how do we get around that? So we're going to do a little bit of sponging onto our word here. I'm just going to cut this out through here. Okay, so we've got the happy birthday, and when you put the happy birthday on here, you can sort of look at yourself, look at it and go, oh, is that too bright? But because this has actually got white in it down there, you probably could get away with this happy birthday in just the white. But what if you wanted to just dull it down just a little bit, like you really want to take that sharpness away from it? Okay, you can come in with, I'm looking at whether I want a green. You could come in with a green, you could come in with a blue. I'm sort of thinking the blue because I've got the blue. I'm just looking for my blue ink over here. And that's Old Olive. Okay. Oh, I don't have a blue sitting in front of me, but that's all right. Let's do a bit of black. That's okay. We'll just come in with a bit of black. So I'm just going to pick up a tiny little bit of black here. Just come in on my glass mat. You can sort of see, once you come in on the glass mat, you can sort of see you get that little bit of colour. And you can just come over it very lightly with your blending brush and just take away that harsh white effect. Okay, just so it's not staring at you, because you don't want that to be the focus. You don't want the happy birthday to be the focus, or you're going to lose focus of the train. So you really want to make it eye-pleasing. Okay, so you can always get your brush and just go around the edges a little bit darker if you want to. So you can hold it up and just sponge downwards and just make sure that you get all the edges. And as you can see, it's taken that harsh white away from just being sitting there. So you could come in with one of these banners underneath though. You could come in with one of these underneath if you wanted to. You could come in with that, and you could come in with the happy birthday over the top if you wanted to. You would have to change the colour, of course. But I'm just going to come in with the happy birthday here today. Like, just bring the happy birthday in over here. So I'm just going to put some dimensions behind it. And take the backs off. So what's everyone been up to today? It's very cold, very overcast. Actually, today's the coldest I've felt in a long time. And it's very overcast. I went out, had to pick my grandsons up and take them to the movies this afternoon. So it was very cold outside. Now, how do we clean this off? Like, how do we clean this? We've got our chamois we can clean it with, so you can pick it up with your chamois. You can pick it up with, we have got the other chamois that goes with this mat, which is way up the other end of the table. Of course, because I'm using down this end this time. I've been scrapbooking up the other end, and yeah, it's quite quite amazing how you can spread right across this table. This table's a big table. Okay, so you can sort of see that's a really neat little card. I'm going to bring this up so you can sort of see it. 27 today, Susan. Are you rubbing that into us? Is it wet or is it nice and sunny? You got winds up there. So have a look at that. Doesn't it look beautiful? And you've just brought in one die in with that stamp set. So you've done that mix and match, and you've just brought in some colour from the back of the designer series paper we were using yesterday. And as you can see, it's got beautiful colouring in there of purples and other colours in there. So really lovely. You can come in and colour this darker into black if you wanted to. You know, this bit of the ground here. But look, you know, I'm quite happy with the way that looks. Oh, the rains are coming. Oh, yeah, I think we're getting rain here too. I'm quite sure we're going to be getting the rain here. It just feels that way. So that's one of them. So let me get on to the next one, because these today is going to be this one. This is a great little die, but this bit here, if you don't do it on an edge, you get this bit that's overlapping here. So especially if you want to have this border down here, okay? The good thing about this too is you got your little brush that goes on your pick tool that you can run up and down and get all your bits out through here. And I've already done that to get all my bits out. But then on the back here, you can sort of see you've got these little pieces that are just hanging. So you've got two options with these little pieces. You can grab your paper trimmer and cut on the inside, or you can glue them down. So let's come back down. Hi, Sandra. Good to see you. Okay, so let's come back down, and I'm going to just glue these in and then trim them off. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit of glue here. and some in here. And you want that bone folder to give yourself that nice crisp fold. Okay, so you want that nice crisp fold. So you can do a little bit on this one. You can cut this out separate first if you want to, and then just stick it onto a card. But I like to do it straight onto the card. Okay, so it doesn't really matter which way you do it, but it's just preference. And then you've got this little bit here at the end here too. So that's got them out of the way now, but then you sort of got them sitting there, so you need to cut them off. So hold your card up and trim those little bits off. Now those pieces are tucked out of the way, so when you put your back piece on, so if you measure it, it's 14, this one. Okay, I had this piece sitting there for ages and I cut it wrong. It was meant to be 14.5 and it was, anyhow, it's 14. So make sure you measure it when you go to do the inside bit. So we're going to bring the paper trimmer down and we're going to cut it at 14. Then we're going to turn it around and we're going to do it at just 1 notch under 10. Just so that it's a little bit, just that fraction smaller when you put this on. Not much smaller, but just a fraction smaller. Okay, just so that it's not getting in the way. Then we're going to pick out a background. So we used these yesterday and they are fantastic, and you can sort of see that this looks really good inside under there with the pictures underneath it. Okay, but then so does the back look really good. See how the back looks really good on that as well. So don't forget you can use either side. Okay, so we're going to use the back one today. I like that colour underneath there. I think it's really lovely. It's dark. And I think I might go with will we go with the black train, or will we go with the wild wheat train? The lighter train or the black train? What do you reckon? I'm going to bring this up just for a minute. Hi Leonie, how are you? Good to see you come on. I love it that I can see who's coming on when I'm up. I can't see when it's down. So you can sort of see this looks really lovely like that. And that colour looks really dark. It looks like night. It's really lovely. I'll just share another one behind here while we're doing it. This one makes it look more daylight. Okay, so it gives it a lighter effect. It gives it like daylight. So when you always cut out your dies, put your papers underneath them and see which one interacts nicely with them, because yeah, they're all a little bit different. That one looks like daylight. Okay, so that one looks really good. But this one's interesting because this has got the autumn on the other side, so you can sort of see you won't have all the bottom bit, but you would have that top bit. That's the blue one we used before. And then you've got this rustic, look at that. Now that looks like the Northern Territory. That reminds me of Ayers Rock. Has anyone been to Northern Territory? I used to live in Northern Territory, and I used to live in Katherine, and we used to go down sometimes to Alice Springs and go out to the Ayers Rock. So that reminds me of that sort of theme with kangaroos jumping through there. That's what that reminds me of. So we can go with either the darker one, which makes it look like night, or we can go with the red that makes it look like Northern Territory style, or we can go with the yellow that makes it look like daytime. See how it changes it? It changes it around when you put the different colours through. What one do you reckon? What would you go with? The dark one? Thanks, Kaz. How are you? You good? Are you working tomorrow? Hi, Lindy. The dark one. Are you coming to work tomorrow, Kaz? Okay, so this one. And then we'll do a dark train. Okay, we better get going. I'm the red one. Oh, I like the look of the red as well. I think that would look really lovely. But I'm thinking I'll go with the reddish train just to share something different for you. Okay, now I haven't got any red ones left cut out, so we're going to come through and cut this one out. And let's go for it. So fussy cut around it. Now when you fussy cut these sort of things, you might want to come in and do a little bit of sponging on them as well, so you get rid of those little white lines if you want to, or you can leave them white. It's entirely up to you. Okay. Now, if you don't want the smoke, you don't have to have the smoke, or the steam, I should say. But if you like that, you can leave it on. I was going to have it all cut out, but sometimes it's good to actually see people doing what they're saying they're going to do, or how they actually did it. Because you can get asked quite often, oh, does that have a die? No, it doesn't, unfortunately. This one is a fussy cut one, okay, which I don't mind fussy cutting. The trick to fussy cutting is more to moving your paper and not your scissors. Did you know that? The trick is to actually move that paper around. You will cut faster if you keep your scissors in one spot and just move your paper around where it's got to go. And I think with fussy cutting, a lot of people get too tied up with trying to make it either a white edge all the way around it, which I really cannot be bothered with. I like to cut pretty close to the image, so I don't have to do that nice little white border all the way around, because that is just not the way I like doing it. Okay, so I'm going to cut this bit off this time, that bit off the front. Okay. So when you've done that, you sort of can think, I might need to just darken up some areas on here if it's too light. So you can come in with your blending brush. And I'm going to open this up. I'm going to use my blending brush just on the edge there. Now don't forget, you can blend onto your glass mat and then just come in around the edge of this. Okay, it will darken it up a little bit and come over that to dull that white down a little bit. And come in a little bit darker just on this area here if you wanted to. Make it look like it's a little bit darker. And just tone down the white a little bit on that. Okay, so that's a really good way of doing it. It just tones it down a little bit. Okay, let's get that chamois out of here. Who works both ends of your table? Or you might not have a table to work on, you might have a bench. But I've got a long table here that fits 8 people around it, and at the moment it's covered. It's got scrapbooking up one end, it's got card making, it's got kits ready to be packed up, it's got so much on there. And so is my bench. Oh my God. Okay, so let's get this one organised. So we want this around the same size as this one. So this one is 14 by 10. So we're just going to cut this one a fraction bit smaller. Now, if you want the pattern to go this way, you need to cut your 10 first, okay, because we're going horizontal. And then we're going to turn it around and we're going to cut it at the, just under the 14. What have I got that one as? Yeah, just under the 14, so it just sits on it a little bit. Okay, now don't forget you can keep these because you can actually stamp words onto them as well, as I have done with a die cut here, which is really great. So I'm going to stick this on here. This side's really lovely too. I love both. I love both these sides. So I'm just going to stick this on first. Okay, so this one's coming onto here. This is going to go onto the back here like this. So before I actually stick it down, if I need to trim just a little bit off, I can. I can still trim just that little bit off the side. Now I've got them both together. This side here, it's a little bit bigger, so I can just hold it across and trim that off nice and neat, so it gives it a nice smooth edge. And then this can come down around on here. Now some of these little pieces, just make sure that they're all off. So we're going to just put some glue around this bit here on your card. So we're just going to come around here. You can see that I'm not going too close to the edge. I don't want to go too close to the edge of the card. But I do on this side when I come down here. The last thing you want is for it to be, the glue to be going out into the corners, like coming out of the sides for you. Okay, so down we go. Bone folder along here. And we've got this nice red train coming in here. Now, if it looks too bright for the red, I think it's pretty cool because it hides behind the trees as well. But if you want to darken that down just a little bit, you can tone it down with doing the black. Okay, so we've got the black on this one. So we're just going to tone it down, adding a little bit of black in here. Okay, so we can tone it down. Black ink. And we can just tone it down just a little bit, just so it looks not so clean. Ooh. Must have had a bit of ink on my fingers again. It can happen. Okay, so just rub your blending brush through it and just take a little bit of that stark red right away, because sometimes it can be just too harsh. You know, you need to blend it down a little bit. I do need to go and get my other chamois, but that will do for the moment. Okay, so this one's now going to go in there. That's a little bit better. And it's going to stick in underneath there, which is really, really good. But I'm going to add some dimensions as well. I'm just going to add some dimension on the smoke here. I don't know how I did that, but I did it. But that's okay. Do you know, sometimes when you do a mistake, people don't even know that you've done the mistake, only you do. But yeah, what I'm saying is you don't really need to worry about it if you do make a mistake at times, because, so this is just going to slide in there like this. So you can sort of see our trains coming out. And then if you wanted to, you can come in with a word down under here, okay? Not with white. Remember, we're going to change the colour. Or you can cut out another happy birthday and put it in there and cut around it. So you can do that if you want happy birthday. If you want congratulations, you can come in with the congratulations on this one. You can do it on with the black. This one's got congratulations. What else has it got? Here's to a happiness ahead. Oh, let's do that one. Here's to happiness ahead, because you can sort of go, here's to happiness ahead. No, I think I might put the congratulations. Sometimes I'm not sure which one I want. Excuse me. Okay. Now, don't forget, if you haven't used them before and they haven't got the back, you can still stamp without the cling on it. But if you want the cling on it, you need to grab it out. I keep mine in here so that they don't get messy, okay? But today I'm just going to stamp without it. But I will show you another day how to put that on, because I'm keeping you all longer than I should. Okay, so pick up your word congratulations. Come in here. Your red rubber is a little bit different to your photopolymer ones, because you can sort of see where you're going to go with your photopolymer ones. You can see underneath, where these ones you can't see exactly where that's going to go. And that's probably why it's a really good idea sometimes to put the backing on it. But I'm just going to eyeball it today. So when I say eyeball it, I'm just going to come right over the top so I can see white paper on the top and white paper down underneath. And hopefully I've got that pretty well in the middle, which is not too bad. Now, don't forget, we want to darken this up. We don't want it light. We want to darken it up, because there's nothing worse, like I said, than having something that's sticking out. And it just, you know, if you look at a card, sometimes you just see, that's why I had black on my thing. It just sticks out and you sort of, I don't really want that there. And you go, oh, it just looks like it's standing out like a sore thumb. So it can be quite overwhelming having that dark, like that white just really standing out. You need to dull it down. And you could even add a little bit of red to this, like the same colour as the train if you wanted to. The good thing about these, your dimensions do fit on. You just need to make sure that you haven't got them on a corner, you've got them on the straight edge, the straight edges. And I love that this is in that die cut. I'll come one up here and one more. Now, we're in our last week of the Stampin' Up year. Wow. Stampin' Up's years start on the 1st of October. So you can bring this in here, or you can bring it down lower. I'm going to bring it up. Or am I going to bring it down? No, I'll bring it down. Okay. And then we're going to also put an insert in there. So I might have to cut this one because yeah, I'll cut that one down. And the reason I'm going to cut it down is because it needs to be cut down probably to about 13, because I want a bigger border to match the rest of it. And I love that this has got just that tinge of colour all the way through there, and that's from the reverse side of that paper. And if that worries you, then cut that off first before you put it on. If you suck your paper up a bit high, just remember that it's going to show on the opposite side. So when you put your paper down, so if that bothers you, make sure you trim that first. This bit here I'm talking about. Okay, let's come up and see who's here. Hi Melissa, how are you? Good to see you on. So as you can see, these are a little bit different to the ones that we did yesterday. This was this side of the paper. This is the reverse side that we're doing today. And you can sort of see that these ones are the other side of the paper. You're so welcome, Susan. It's lovely when people ask the question and I actually know that the person's interacting with me also on here. And I know you asked me the question and sharing how, and I don't normally say who has asked me the question because a lot of people don't like their name on Facebook, but you're on here today. And look, you know, it's really lovely seeing all the different cards that you can make with one train. Look how different these cards are, just with one train stamp set and some different paper. Like, they are amazing. I love that one. I think it's just lovely. The train just sort of sits there. And this one here too, I really like them as well. So I hope you liked today's little session, just showing you how you can actually use the dies and mix and match with the reverse side of the paper and use the dies. So how gorgeous are they when they're coming out? Look at that. Looks like they're really coming out from behind the trees there, and the same here. Well, I hope you enjoyed that today. God bless you all, and I will see you, what's tomorrow? Thursday. I will see you tomorrow night at 6:30. Bye for now. Thank you.